Hello friends, this is Acharya Raman, Vedic astrologer, since last 20 years. Today we will do one of the untold story of Hindu mythology, which is the story of adultery or extramarital relations between moon god and Lord Jupiter's wife Tara. This story also tells us about the birth of Mercury or Buddha due to the relationship between Chandradev or moon god and Tara, who is wife of Brihaspati or Jupiter. Also friends, if you like my video, then at the end of it please do comment on it, share it, like it, and also please do subscribe to my channel. So friends, let us start the video.
Once, Chandradeva or moon god decided to perform the greatest of all yagna, a sacred sacrifice. This was the Rajaswaya yagna, translating to fire worship.
To invite the other deities, he first visited Satyalok. It was where Lord Brahma resided. Chandra invited Lord Brahma and received his blessings.
He then visited Devaloka, or the place of residence of gods, to invite Lord Indra and other devas to attend a yagna. Moon then requested Brihaspati or Jupiter to preside as the main priest to perform the yagna, to which Brihaspati or Jupiter agreed. Chandradeva or Moon was taught the Vedas and divine skills by his guru, who was none other than Brihaspati or Jupiter himself. Sage Brihaspati and his wife Tara presided the yagna. As the yagna progressed, Chandra began to attain a divine and beautiful form. His beauty was so mesmerizing that all the apsaras or angels, and Devalok women, including Tara, began to fall for Chandradeva's beauty. She instantly fell in love with Chandra or Moon and was enamored by his youthful looks and his skills of love-making. Tara decided not to return to a loveless marriage with the old sage. Tara was the wife of Brihaspati or Jupiter, but she felt much happier being with Chandradev. When Brihaspati sent word to her to return, she declined to come back. Angry, he went to fetch her. Brihaspati reminded Chandra that it was against the norm to keep Tara, as she was Chandra's Gurupatna, and thus like a mother to him, and having sex with her was a sin. Chandra laughed at him and wondered why sages quoted the scriptures only to suit them. Finally he said that he had not forced Tara to stay with him, she had decided to stay herself, and that itself spoke volumes about the sage's ability to keep his wife. The sage accused Chandra of adultery. But Chandra refused to be concerned with anything that his guru had to say. Tara and Chandradev were more than happy being together, and he was not willing to let go. Brihaspati had to leave and reconcile to the fact that his wife had left him willingly, and there was no blaming anybody else, but soon he was beginning to miss her. Once again he landed at Chandra's door, but this time, he was not allowed to cross the gates. This angered the guru to no end, and he shouted at Chandra that if he did not return his wife, he would curse him to ashes. An infuriated Chandra came out to ask why an old man like him needed such a young woman for a wife, when he was not even capable of satisfying her. Finally, Chandra told the sage that he could do whatever he wanted, but he would not return Tara, unless she herself decided to leave him. So Tara and Chandradev stayed on together, and their love bloomed. A crestfallen Brihaspati sought help from Lord Indra. Indra confronted Chandra and asked him to return Tara to Brihaspati. Chandra reminded Indra of his own liaison with sage Gautama's wife Ahalya, except that in this case Tara had come to him voluntarily. The two important questions, of course, were lost in the war of words, and soon matters came to the stage of an imminent war between Indra and Chandra. Lord Brahma intervened and declared that Tara would have to leave Chandra and go back to her husband. But the matter was not so simple. Tara was pregnant with Chandra's son, which led to another altercation between Brihaspati and Chandra. Once again Lord Brahma had to intervene. Tara confirmed that the child was Chandra's, and thus Chandra was acknowledged as the father of the child, whom he named Bud or Mercury. Guru did not like to bring up Chandra's baby and asks her to return the baby back to him. This child was brought up by Chandradeva and later came to be known as Buddha, Mercury. Initially, he asks his wives to take care of the baby. Of the 27 wives, only 2 of his wives Krithika and Rohini care for the baby. The other 25 wives refuse to take care of the baby. Between Krithika and Rohini, Rohini cares a lot more for the baby. After learning about his wives and their attitude towards the baby, Chandra decided to take action, ignoring the 25 wives and caring only for Krithika and Rohini. Chandradeva, hence, was so fond of Rohini that he spent most of his time with her. Father Daksha repeatedly warned Chandradeva, but he never paid attention, and this angers sage Daksha. Daksha realizes that Chandra has broken his promise of loving all his wives equally and curses Chandra in his anger. He cursed Chandra that he will have to suffer from akashaya, deterioration of body, within a short period of time. He curses Chandra to contract an incurable disease. As a consequence, all creatures dependent on the moon too started decaying. Only a small portion of the moon was visible. Affected by the curse, the moon took refuge in the ocean. Chandradeva performed one of the hardest penances of a Mahamrityunjaya mantra, composed by Rishi Markandeya in the Prabhas region. Lord Shiva, on the very occasion of Mahashivaratri, appeared in front of him and informed him that he could not get rid of the curse because what he had done was also unjust. By this time, Chandra has already lost his beauty in the past 14 days and was left with only 1 day to completely look miserable. Chandra surrendered himself to Lord Shiva and begged his forgiveness. He pleases Lord Shiva that henceforth, he will do only what Lord Shiva asks him to. Lord Shiva told that Daksha's curse cannot be completely ignored. In order to make Chandra free from the curse, Shiva had to place him on his head, as Daksha's curse doesn't get in vain. Chandra looked like a curved bowl on Shiva's matted hair, and the last part of his beauty remained forever, and sage Daksha's curse could not affect Chandra further. Lord Shiva then granted Chandra with a boon that he would wither for 15 days and then grow to his full size, for the next 15 days. The day when Chandra is fully deteriorated is called a Amavasya, no moon day, and when Chandra is fully radiant in his original form, it is called a Purnima, full moon day. According to Lord Shiva's boon, Chandradeva is said to wane during Krishnapaksha and during Shuklapaksha, the brighter part of the lunar fortnight. Chandra is said to wax. After getting such a divine boon from Lord Shiva, Chandradeva built a huge temple. He named the Jyotirlinga in the temple as a Somnath Mahadeva. Here Som means Chandra himself and Mahadev is Lord Shiva. With this incident, Lord Shiva is known to be a Chandrasekhara. The word a Chandra means moon and Shekhar means a cresta or a pika. Because the moon adorns the head of Lord Shiva, which is the peak point of any human being, he is called Chandrasekhara. Friends, hope you liked my video, and if you did like, then please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you friends.